Hey guys, Omni here. Before we get into the video, I want to let everybody know that I got some links down in the description of the video for some places that you can go to show your support for the Black Lives Matter movement. I really hope you take some time to go check those out. Now let's get into the video. So, one of the other titles that caught my eye and got me really excited was the announcement of the sequel to the Sony PlayStation Marvel Spider-Man game, which came out not too long ago from Insomniac Games. This game was fantastic. It easily was my favorite superhero game I've played. I really enjoyed it. I got immersed in the world and the feeling of being Spider-Man. Honestly, up until that point, I really loved the Arkham games, and I'm a DC guy, rocking the Flash right now. I really love all of the Arkham Batman games, and I think that game took what made those amazing and revamped it in a way and immersed yourself with some of those elements. The things that worked in those games, I think they took inspiration from that and then melded it together into this style and world and this living environment in which Peter Parker's Spider-Man lives. You know, we were introduced to Miles Morales in that game as well, and it looks like the sequel is indeed Spider-Man Miles Morales. Raises the question, what happens to our beloved Peter Parker that we spent so much time with in the previous game? I'm curious. We'll see. We'll see what they do. But I knew this was coming. I thought this was going to be down the road, of course. This was a lot of people's speculations about what would be the next game if they picked up and did develop a sequel to the last one. I'm looking forward to this, really. And I think even though people are very familiar with this character, they're very familiar with the ideas behind it, but I really think that Miles Morales got a lot more love and exposure thanks to Into the Spider-Verse, which honestly was one of the best, if not the best, debatably, Spider-Man films to hit the big screen. I adore that movie. I love the soundtrack. I love the art style, art direction, and just the character of Miles Morales. And I'm excited to see what this team does with this game because the story, the immersion, and the characters and just how authentic everything feels was one of my favorite things about the first game. And I got a review of it. I adored it. It was so well done. And honestly, that version of Peter Parker became one of my favorite versions of that character that I've seen in any interpretation. I thought it was the most honest and the most accurate. And I think that could be said about all the other characters that they brought into that world as well. And it just leaves me really excited to see what they got. Let's check out the announcement trailer for Spider-Man Miles Morales. Here we go. Let me make sure I got the audio up. Good. Is his suit shattering?
Who doesn't give up. Your dad said that. He was right. Now it's your turn. Go be a hero, Miles.
Okay, let's do this.
Oh, he looks so good. I love the design of the suit. Oh, no, is that it? Be greater. Be yourself. Holiday 2020? Dude. Yes, please. Y'all gonna make me buy a PS5. Thank you. I needed a reason for it. I was on the fence about it, honestly. But we'll see. I will buy it. Maybe. Hopefully. Hopefully I'll have the money. I want it literally just for this. This alone, for me, justifies the PS5. Because just how well done the first one was made, I'm committed to supporting these people with the games they've made. And it looks gorgeous. I really love this version of Miles' suit. You have the shock that he has as well incorporated into it. I'm curious to see what other abilities that you can have in there, maybe even other gadgets. Does he come up with this suit? Does Peter help him build this suit? Is Peter alive? Who knows? It looks gorgeous. It's a small teensy tease. Not a whole lot to go off of, but it's just beautiful. I mean, the initial trailer for the first one was very minimal as well. And my God, that game is so expansive and beautiful and fun. And I gotta say, as much as I love Batman, he is my, it's the normie thing to say, and I'm sorry, but he's my favorite superhero. Spider-Man is easily my number 2. Easy. Out of all of the Marvel characters that they have, even more than most of the DC characters that are out there too. I love Spider-Man. He's right there. I grew up on Batman and Spider-Man. Those were the two, especially when I was growing up, was the prime time because you had Batman the animated series as well as the Spider-Man animated show as well. And then you also had the X-Men. It was a good time to kind of be introduced to a lot of these characters in some of the best ways. And I just love it. And I love how the Spider-Man world has kind of evolved and grown and, been expanded upon to this just beyond Peter as well and the influence that he has carried out. Miles Morales and that icon of a character that he brings to people. If you want to hear somebody like gush over this character and what it means to them, check out Carrie Payton on Fat Man Beyond with Mark Bernardin, and that was a fun little thing. Like, it gets me emotional just watching them talk about Miles Morales and what that character means to so many people. And I think this, especially with what is going on right now, is needed and beautiful. Characters like Miles have such a weight to them, and his background, his aspirations, it's just universal, and he's just good to the soul, man. I'm looking forward to it. There's not a lot to talk about because it's just such a short little video. It's all mostly pre-rendered. I don't think it's hard to say if any of that was gameplay. But comparing it just to the original, could have been. This is running on the PS5. It looks gorgeous. I can't wait, man, to check it out. I think I got kind of off track there talking about like my love for these superheroes or whatever, but one of the things that I love about Spider-Man games is the way they immerse you into it, and it always comes down to the swinging, the traversal. Whereas Batman, with Arkham Asylum, he was a little corridor driven. Things opened up a little bit with Arkham City, though you were still a little limited with what you could do. Arkham Knight opened it up even more and allowed you to feel a little more immersed, but not to the level that I think Spider-Man, the PS4 Spider-Man game did. The NPCs, the living, operating day to day of Manhattan, and Spider-Man swinging through daylight, nighttime, all time. It was just a lot of fun. It's so much fun for me. I never once touched that fast travel. I always swung because that is the most key thing about these games. They get you sucked in, and there's just something about traversing the city, climbing the walls, slinging the webs, that just sucks you in, and you feel the momentum. You feel like you're swinging through the cities, and you just get taken in with it. And it's what I love about the Spider-Man games. Spider-Man game, to me, is defined almost 75 to 80% by their swinging mechanics. That might be so completely ridiculous to some, but that's how I feel. And I think this game, the combat was very fluid, very nice, and honestly, at times, even more challenging than the Arkham games, but even despite it using essentially the same combat system. But what really sold that game is the heart, the emotion, the pacing, and immersion that comes with the characters and the story that's being told and the perspective they take on it. They carry all of that over and carry that and inject all of that same energy into a character like Miles Morales. I think we're going to get a beautiful, beautiful journey with this character, and I can't wait. Honestly, I'm ready. I want that now. So yeah, that's my thoughts on it. Again, I can't really say too much more as for what we got here because it was such a short reveal, but that's what those are about. So tell me your guys' thoughts. Sound off in the comments below. Did you play the PS4 Spider-Man game? If you haven't, you should. If you have a PlayStation 4, You have no excuse. Get it, play it. You will not regret it. I loved it, man. Sound off in the comments. I'll carry on the conversation after the video. And yeah, thank you all for tuning in. I will catch you guys next time. Take care, everybody.